Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality back with you here today to go over night 2 of the WrestleMania 39 prediction. So, just an FYI, I'm recording this pretty much right after I did the night 1 predictions that appeared yesterday on the YouTubes. So, hopefully, this card stays the way it is and nothing gets added to it, because otherwise, that's just going to be a fat L for me. So we're going to do the same thing that I did on the previous video, which is simply just run through the matches really quick and then some additional commentary, then make the predictions on the matches. So what we have for Sunday, we have, of course, the overall main event of WrestleMania, Roman Reigns versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. We have Bianca Belair versus Asuka, Gunther versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus for the Intercontinental Championship, and I should have mentioned Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. Then we have Edge versus Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell match. Brock Lesnar versus Omos, I'm sorry. And then the WrestleMania Showcase match, the women's match, would be Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. So, of course, we know, unlike night 1, we know what the main event of WrestleMania is overall. It's Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. There's absolutely no argument there. Opening match, just to get things going, I can see this starting with the Gunther versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus match. Totally. Yeah, I really kind of think that might be the only one if you really want to get the crowd really into it. And then after that, go to like the Brock Lesnar versus Omos match, because frankly, I like Brock, but that match doesn't really do much for me. So I think this one's kind of set in stone. I think if they're not gonna if they do the Gunther match first, maybe he'll pop up in the main event, because they did start at the Royal Rumble building something towards him and Cody Rhodes, so maybe that'll be the way things go. But not a lot of additional commentary to add to that, so let's just kind of jump right into it. And as we did in the Saturday video, we'll just go down the order here and make my predictions. In fact, you know what? I'm going to skip the Roman and Cody one. I'll do that last because that is the overall main event. So I'll start with the Bianca Belair versus Asuka match. If I'm correct about this, had the belt since last WrestleMania. That's a hell of a run. This could actually end up being like the like one of the matches of the night. I think Roman versus Cody is going to be excellent. They're both very good at what they do. The Bianca Asuka match could be great. Gunther versus Drew versus Sheamus could be great, and Edge versus Finn Balor could also be a great match. So again, yeah, like yesterday, you have 4 matches that could definitely steal this show here. But Bianca versus Asuka, a fan of both of them. I could see this one going either way. I don't feel like they've really built this one up as much as they possibly could have with 2 very, very good wrestlers. Given that Bianca's held the belt for a year, and we're also in the midst of some other lengthy championship runs, like the Usos with the tag belts and Roman's with this belt, I don't think they're going to keep Bianca holding on to the Raw belt forever. And who have they really built up for her to be like a legit threatening challenger? I mean, I don't recall it being very many people, but Asuka certainly is one of those totally legit challengers, and I don't want to bet against Bianca. Not sure I have in the last year. In fact, I'm pretty sure I predicted her to win the belt last year. So I could see this one going either way. I'm going to make my official prediction, though, Asuka, just because, again, Bianca's held the belt for a year, and usually for WWE, that's on the very long side of how long they like people to hold belts, unless you're in the bloodline. So I will go ahead and take Asuka in this one. So Gunther versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. This is another one that I could see going any of those 3 ways. Keep Gunther with the belt. I have no issue with that at all. He's shown to be extremely dominant. He's already fought Sheamus and he beat Sheamus. Him versus Drew versus Sheamus. I mean, they're building up something with Drew versus Sheamus, so I could see one of them taking the belt and then turning heel, and then Gunther going on to, again, face Cody after WrestleMania or start that feud up for sure. So maybe I say Drew wins this one. That's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to pick Drew McIntyre in this one. Yeah, it's really kind of all I got. I picked Drew. Edge versus Finn Balor. Judgment Day is going to have a pretty decent time. I mean, I'm sure they're going to get some shenanigans in this too. I mean, you already had on night one Rhea Ripley, who maybe by the point this video comes out will have the women's title belt. And then Dominic, maybe by the time this comes out, if my predictions go according to my plan, then he'll have one also, and he can boast about that. And maybe the Judgment Day is going for a clean sweep here. But I mean, Edge is winding down in his career. How many more matches is he going to have? I know he only has matches like a few times a year or so, it seems. So my heart kind of sits with Edge in this one. I like both these guys. But again, storyline, where does it go? I think Finn is probably the one that's got to win. I think I'm going to pick Finn over Edge. I think there's just more of a story there than Edge winning. And if Edge is on his way out, there's always the whole, losing your final match sort of thing and, handing the baton over to the other guy. So I'm going to pick Finn Balor in this one. Brock Lesnar versus Omos. It's just going to be, as Simon Miller from What Culture Wrestling says, it'll be big men slapping man meat. I mean, same thing with the Gunther, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus match, but this one's bigger men slapping bigger man meat. So this one, again, I don't really care one way or the other. I like Brock. Omos just seems to be just a really big dude at this point, and that's kind of it. I think they're trying to legitimize Omos a little bit, so I almost think he probably will end up winning. That's if Brock allows it. If this match was something more of like just a free-for-all type match, like a no-holds-barred type thing, I could see Brock winning. But if it's just a straight-up regular match, I think they're just going to go with Omos just to give him the rub of being able to say that he beat Brock Lesnar and that there is someone out there that Brock can't beat because this dude is freaking ginormous. So I'm going to take Omos. I just think there's no reason to give Brock a win here over Omos. It doesn't do anything for Omos, but Omos beating Brock is definitely the bigger deal sort of thing. So Omos is my pick. Then we have Liv and Raquel versus Natalya and Shotzi versus Ronda and Shayna versus Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. It seemed like for a while that it was being built up that Ronda and Shayna were going to be up for the women's tag titles, but obviously it's on a different night than the actual tag titles are on, which aren't even being defended on their night. That's in Becky's match. And it seems like these two have kind of just not really been a hugely prominent presence on the screen, given Ronda Rousey's star power. It seems like they are pushing, though, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, as they occasionally tend to do. So I'd say they're probably the easy pick, or I should say the easy pick, the top pick to win. Natalya and Shotzi are kind of a Franken team. I mean, Liv and Raquel are kind of too. But Natalya and Shotzi, like both of them, but I don't really know how that's going to go. I think Natalya is in it probably more because she's a good ring general, and she's very good at calling the shots, so why not have her in the match? I think they're the expendable team, though. They're starting to build up something, though, with Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. So I could actually, as much as I think they're probably either the least favorite or the second to least favorite to Natalya and Shotzi, I could see them pulling it off and winning just because of that story that they have going on, with Chelsea Green being essentially a Karen character and Sonya Deville being kind of just whatever towards her sort of thing. So I could see that happening, but I mean, I think they're going to keep pushing Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I am not confident in that at all, because I can certainly see Ronda and Shayna winning. I mean, or at least putting them over everybody, saying like this is like the next team that like Becky and Lita are going to have to face is these two killers. So I could see that too, but I think my pick is going to stick with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. It seems like they're the favorites for sure going into this one. So before we get to the main event, I've picked Asuka, if I'm remembering correctly, Asuka, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Omos, and Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So brings us to the main event, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. And I'm going to probably say something controversial here. I don't see what the story is if Roman wins. I don't see where they go from here. And Cody's whole thing has been just trying to win the championship for his family that's never been able to win the WWE title. So I can definitely see Cody winning this, like hands down without question. Though I think they're going to play it up like Roman's really good at being the guy that's is he going to lose? And that's like 1, 2, 2.5, 2 and 7/8, 2 and 99 hundredths. Oh, he kicked out. So he's that guy where it's like he makes it seem like he's going to lose and never does. And I think Cody's finally the guy that puts him down. So you're probably looking at, I think, a fairly long main event for this one. It's probably going to be a lot of shenanigans. I mean, you got the Usos. I'm sure Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to have something to do with this as well. I'm sure Roman's going to be protected to some degree, so that's why I think shenanigans. I don't know if Cody's going to beat him straight up or not. Maybe that happens. But I think Cody Rhodes wins, and then after that, he goes off into a feud with Gunther, which means I'm totally wrong, and then Roman has to deal with the fallout of the Bloodline losing every single belt that they had. That's my predictions, because in my Saturday predictions, I said that Sami and Zayn and Kevin Owens were going to beat the Usos for the tag belt. So that is where I see things going. So again, picking Cody Rhodes, Asuka, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Omos, and Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez to win their respective matches. So what do you guys think is going to happen? Let me know in the comments below. Raw is probably going to be a pretty good show on Monday. I wonder who we're going to see, what surprises we're going to see. I wonder what surprises we're even going to see during WrestleMania. And by the time you hear this, what we've already seen at this point. Like, who's going to be called up from NXT, or just what signings they've made that we just maybe don't know about, or something like that. Because I did see that Triple H said there were going to be surprises in store. So I guess we will find out within the next, not even 48 hours, probably like, 36 hours or so. We will know. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Please like, share, subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye.